Buenos dias. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give everybody a couple moments to tune in to get the little notifications that we're live here at the virtual version of Promise Resource Network while the hub is closed this week. So I wanted this to be a little higher. It's not a little higher. Just working it all out, y'all. Just working it all out. It's always everything's always new. So anyway, hi, I'm Jane, and this is Expansions. This is the spiritual dimension of wellness. I'm looking forward to being back at the hub next week. But until then, we get to do this virtually. So hopefully everybody that normally would have tuned in by being here in real life would hopefully tune in to this virtual version. So the spiritual dimension of wellness is my favorite. I was like, I'm pulling a card. So I wanted to pull a card from this deck. It's an animal spirit deck. I like it. It's a really beautiful deck. It's a it's a massive deck. It's like got 8,000 cards in it. It doesn't really have 8,000 cards in it. It does have quite a few though. Like 68. Yeah, this is the deck. I've shared it on here before. It's been a minute. So, okay. Curious what it'll be. So as we kind of start to drop in and tune in, because this is the spiritual dimension of wellness, I like to always kind of start with a couple deep breaths. So if you want to do that with me, that would be fantastic. So just take a big breath in and just let it go out of your mouth. Big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do one more big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I always get so relaxed when I do that. I always just kind of, my nervous system is like, oh, thank you. I didn't even know I needed that. Thanks. So I just pulled a card. And as you tune in, I'm curious how you're doing. How you feeling? We are in an eclipse portal, y'all. So the new moon. Hey, good morning, Mama. We have the new moon last night and yesterday, depending on where you are. Anyway, so we also had a total solar eclipse yesterday. We didn't see it here in North America, but it happened. And that solar eclipse was with the new moon. And then 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a total lunar eclipse. And that timeline, hey, Charles, that timeline between these two portals of eclipses is a really potent time. And it's also a time that tends to get our energy a little discombobulated. So it might look like my mom's on here and saying that she's trying to get in active motion. So it might feel like this energy that's being stirred up, it might create a mental feeling, you know what I mean, of I need to, got to, should. Like, I need to plan, I need to do a thing, I need to get all this stuff done. This week especially has been a very high energy week with a lot of stuff that just needs to get done. Many of us have had a very busy week. It's been maybe a lot of appointments, a lot of schedule stuff, a lot of phone calls, just trying to get things ready, get things cleaned up, cleared up, prepared, whatever that is to you. But this has been a week where that's been happening quite a bit. And if you imagine like a snow globe being shaken up, that's what we're moving with these eclipses. So during that time of the shakeup, what's really happening is all the systems outside of us are really being shaken up, which If you're in the snow globe, you can feel it, right? But we're not the snow in the globe. We are the little statue or whatever it is that's in the globe, and all the other stuff is like moving around us. And so imagine if you are this person in the snow globe that's being shaken up. If it's the first time that anyone's ever picked up the snow globe and you're being shaken, it's kind of like, whoa, what is this? Right? It feels like just so much. And because we are conditioned to try to make order of things and make sense of things, it's a little bit much. So what's really coming through is to let the logical mind relax and try to not figure it out so much. Just try to not figure it out so much. And just trust that all this snow is going to settle around us. All this energy, all these changes are going to settle around us in a new pattern, right? Maybe the snow on the bottom of the snow globe was in a certain wave pattern. It got shaken up. What's going to be different now, right? It would be different. And we can't use our mind to understand or even predict where each of those flakes of snow will land. And that's kind of like what's happening. None of us really know what's going to happen. We never really do. And especially now with a lot of stuff happening in the news, in the media, around the world, it's a lot of stuff happening with our brothers and sisters on the earth plane, with the earth herself. Like, it's just a lot of stuff happening. So much stuff is happening that it's almost like, how is this going to work out? And so when we get into that place, when we humans get in that place of like really not having a clue, then what we tend to do is try to manage it. Now, in this time that we try to manage it, we might move into patterns such as being really, really busy, busying ourselves. It might look like looking or going back to self-harm patterns, addictive substances, substance misuse. Maybe you notice that this week you're smoking a lot more cigarettes, or maybe you're drinking more alcohol, or you have just been chomping at the bit and trying to soothe the mind that cannot rationalize what is actually happening in the grander scheme of this life game. Because we can't. Before, if you ever looked back at any historical experiences or events, we had, if we had a war or whatever, we would learn about it through maybe some TV or, the newspaper. But we have these devices, these phones that we can literally look and see what's happening around the world in any now moment as it's happening. The mind can't reconcile all that. One of those bits of data that a day of information would give us is quite a bit for our mind to reconcile and try to make sense of. And we can't. And we're inundated with days on days on days, on years on years on years on end of a lot of data coming at us. And right now the data is reflecting how everything is being shaken up on the earth plane. Yeah, feeling more antsy. It's a really good time to start really dropping in deeper to our spiritual practices, especially for the next 2 weeks. It is imperative to let the mind relax, to not try to figure anything out, because we get to then start. What I feel we're doing is we're walking in more of a path of faith and trust than we ever have, knowing what we know and knowing what we don't know. Like, I know what's happening over in the Russia, Ukraine, Syria. I know what's happening with BRICS. I know what's happening with the World Economic Forum. I know what's happening with the social credit scores. Like, I know what's happening with all of that. I can't do anything to change any of that. I can't. But what I can do is I can trust in and be in faith that everything is moving okay and that I'm here to create whatever change. And maybe that change for me is to spread more joy. Maybe for you, it's to be more peaceful. Maybe for you, it's to start writing your poetry, like whatever it is. Maybe it's time for you to start that business. Maybe it's time for you to quit that job, like whatever it is. Like it's trusting that whatever this snow globe shakeup that's happening around us is dismantling and changing things that are truly not in our highest good, and that we can create a life that is in our highest good. And to do that, we only have that answer within. To create a life of the highest good for you, you get to go into your heart, because only you have those answers. I don't. I can just share with you my ways and different paths to get there, but ultimately, it's your call. And if my mind is trying to make sense of everything and trying to figure out the next step, then I'm distracted and disconnected from diving inward to my heart. And that is the spiritual practice, is to be in that space of going into the heart and letting everything else around it be still, so that I can hear and see and understand what I need to do next. Maybe I'll have a healing, an epiphany, whatever. It's to do that is to go into the eye of the storm, which is to then be able to be in the snow globe and just be like, oh, look, it's just all falling around me. It's fine. And then when I can be in that mindset of, oh, okay, it is all fine. I may not like it. And I still may be having a super nervous system response because I might be really afraid. And I'm also trusting that everything is okay. Then all of my decisions will reflect that, which means I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to experience more peace in my body and in my life. I'm going to have more relationships around me of friends and family and partners or whatever, business friends that are going to be wanting to be around me, because I'm not just like, oh, I gotta do everything. Because if you notice, nobody really wants to be around that. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to be around me when I'm like that. When I feel like I've had 15 cups of coffee and my mind is like, I don't know what to do. Because I can never do it all. I can never get it all done. And then I get antsy, right? And I get squirrely, and then I miss steps. I miss very important steps. I miss very important commitments, or I forget things, right? Because my mind is trying to keep up on all this stuff and make logical sense of it. And what do I do next? And how do I be? And all of these things. And then I mess up. And we know that, remember being a kid and like taking tests or whatever. And if you went into that classroom and you knew the material, you would, yeah, I totally have this math thing down. I got this math. And you would go in there and you would test and you would ace it, right? But if you were like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this chemistry. I don't remember how to do the equations. I don't remember what are these, what are the elements, and then what was the atomic weight? And oh my God, and wait, what? Your mind is going all over the place, and you sit down to take the test and you totally bomb it, right? You fail. And then afterward, you're like, oh, I knew all that stuff. I knew it. What happens is when we get anxious, the mind tries to rationalize our way out of that discomfort. The mind cannot rationalize our way out of discomfort. That's how that's how the big pharma system works. It's to take a pill to rationalize and numb out the pain and discomfort. I'm not saying pharmaceuticals aren't good. They definitely have, some of them have their place, but it's been an overused methodology of wellness, in my opinion, and if I forgot what I was saying, I was just thinking about that. And then the wind just blew and I saw the tree outside and I was like, oh, I love that tree. I love how distracted I can get. This is why when I'm at the hub, I'm like, y'all, if we can please turn off the phones. So I like to be inside there, because it's like with all the other stuff happening outside, I'm like, it takes a lot for my mental body to just focus. Oh, so good. So anyway, so I'm curious, like, what are some of your spiritual practices that can keep you um, that can help you get out of this antsy like mindset. Like, what do you do? What do you not do? What do you stop doing? What is your path that you step on when your mind is really being inundated with all of the stuff and things? And especially now with this eclipse, like we are in like between two bookends of two really powerful eclipses. That means everything in the cosmic realm is been aligned and basically shaking up our field of life, because we're tiny specks in the big cosmic dance. Imagine all those planets, and each of them emit different sound frequencies and light rays. And having it would be like if you're in a dark room listening to classical music, and then all of a sudden somebody like turning up the strobe light and then pounding like some you'd be like, what the just happened? I don't even know. That's kind of what happened with this eclipse that happened yesterday in the new moon. So we're in that timeline of like 2 weeks of like strobe light and like club music. And we need that because that's literally the base of that music. That is what will start to shake things up and break some stuff. The stuff that will be breaking will be the stuff that's dense, that's not of light, that's not of love and kindness. And those are the things that we need to get rid of, right? So it's like the cosmos are lining up everything to actually help us out. Mama Jane says that she prays and meditates for calm and peace. So how does that work when you're feeling antsy? Do you do it more? Do you find it hard to meditate? Because what I've noticed, because we are this body, mind, and the spirit, right? So we have all these things, and praying is great. It's also a mind thing. Very often, it's a mind and a heart thing. It is meditation. That's great. Unless my mind is on go, right? I can't meditate my way through like a strobe light club, with all the music pumping, pumping, pumping. I mean, I probably could actually drop into like some and like tune it all out to really tune into me, but that's like a practice. Like that is a practice meditator right there. And it would still be a challenge for me because I'm definitely not like number one. I don't want to be number one in anything. Anyway, I'm number one at being me. Anyway, it's true. So are you. But something that works really, really well during this time is breathing. Breathing is so important. Yeah, she says that it's the only way that she can get on the right track and function, right? Kind of starts my day off that. I try to start my day off that way. We have this eclipse these eclipses bookending us. It's almost like that strobe light club music. Imagine that's like closing in on you. That's kind of what's happening in the energetic realm of consciousness that we are in, that we're growing through. We're growing through it, I swear. And when we do breath work as a spiritual practice, it can super help us tune everything else out, because the only thing we can hear is our breath, right? I mean, if I'm at a club or at a concert and it's like a little bit much, there's a lot of people, I'm starting to get a little bit like anxious and I can't leave, I'm going to focus on my breath, because it's the only thing we can control. It's the only thing we can work with. It really is. Because in this snow globe analogy, it might also feel like we're drowning a little bit. We're changing seasons here. So the whole energy is shifting anyhow. Like we're going through a really big space of change right now. So like I said, now's a really great time to just dive into a spiritual practice. Setting a timer for like 5 minutes, like maybe before you sit in your meditation or before you sit in prayer, you set a timer for 5 minutes and you breathe. And maybe that's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And maybe every time that you inhale through the nose, you hold it at the top just for a moment. And then when you breathe out through the mouth, maybe you blow out more air and you hold it at the exhale. And then you breathe in through the nose and you hold it at the top. And then you breathe out through the mouth and you hold it at the bottom. If you add that for the next 2 weeks into your spiritual practice before you drop into your meditation and prayer, I promise that you will have a shift. You will be able to hear the callings of your heart. The mind will become patterned to where as soon as you maybe in 3 weeks take a breath like that, the mind goes, oh, that's right. I can calm down. It's safe for me to do so. Right? So I would highly encourage that to all of us for the next 2 weeks is to have a very, very committed spiritual practice and to add breath work. For reals. Because y'all, I'm seeing so many shifts in people. Please hold, I want to take a sip. Tell me how you're feeling. So I'm noticing that there's this pulling away. I feel like the polarity is shifting, and I'm curious if you all are experiencing this within yourself or something you're witnessing. So I'm noticing that right now, some people are having one experience kind of collectively, and then other people are having another experience kind of collectively. People A and people B. None of these are right or wrong or better or worse, or it's just what I'm noticing in my own life and those around me. So I'm noticing that some people are, mind you, we're all moving through some hard shit. We're all moving through big changes that is really testing our faith, truly testing our trust in something bigger, the God, the goddess, the unseen, the infinite, trusting in something unseen like love, like compassion, like I'm trusting that compassion's going to win, right? So we're all moving through that. So A's and B's are all experiencing the same thing. But what I'm noticing is there's a big difference on the way it's being handled. And the way it's being handled is greatly shifting the outcomes. For example, some people, while all these shifts are happening, are really dropping deeper into awareness of trust and faith and breath and practice and doing the work, really, which means I'm going to stop all this chitter chatter of nothing important. I'm going to stop scrolling and I'm going to dive into my heart and I'm going to reflect and ask myself deep questions like, where did these patterns of my life come from, without any judgment? And how can I change these patterns? How can I be different? How can I experience more? How can I experience more ease, right? How can I love my life even more? And how can I love my life just as it is even more, right? And so those people that are doing those things, what I'm noticing is they're kind of like, they're again, we're all in the shit, but these people are having really easy things kind of come to them, like random support or random gifts or random opportunities or things that it's like, I've been asking for that for my whole life and I'm just now getting that. What? Oh my God, deeper connections with other people, deeper support, conversations that are more uplifting, solutions that are being created that are in support of life on earth, things like that. Okay. So that's the outcome. And I'm noticing the practices that they're doing that's getting them that. And then the other people, again, in the shit with us, all of us, we're both of these. So some people are having a harder time. And some people are trying to wrap their mind around what's happening, why everything is the way it is, and then how to fix it. There's a difference between me wanting to fix something than me trusting and changing my ways. They feel really similar. One has a problem, one is accepting. So one is in judgment and one is in acceptance. I see some people that are being really big in the victim reality, right? Like everything that's happening to me is because this person did it to me. They screwed me over. They did this. They didn't pay me. They didn't like me. It's because of all of these things that have happened. And so I'm going to see the pattern and I'm going to blame someone else for the pattern that I'm seeing. So then I'm holding victimization consciousness and judgment in my field, right? And I'm not tapping into my heart in any of that. Did you notice that? So if I'm not tapping into my heart, what I'm noticing that what these people are experiencing, they're experiencing physical pain. Like, whoa! I'm not saying that other people aren't experiencing some physical pain. What I'm saying is these people are getting like taken down. Some people are having a really hard time navigating their changes, experiencing deeper bouts of depression, more intense anxiety, feeling maybe more alone, and everyone that they're talking to isn't able to soothe them with the words that they want to hear, but they don't really know what they want to hear. So it's almost like there's a group of people that are just like flailing about right now, and the more they flail, the heavier they're getting, right? It's like the more they're thrashing about, the more they're stirring up everything. So go back to the analogy of the snow globe. If I'm in this bundle of humans, I might just be sitting there just like, wow, yeah, it's a bunch of snow flying around me. Okay. And I'm patient and I'm just letting it all settle. And as it settles, it's like these gifts are coming out. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even see that. Thanks. Cool. These people in the snow globe, they want everything to settle so they can be still, but they're thrashing about, throwing up more snow. So now they can't see, right? It's like their vision is blurred because the vision is still focused on the mind and how to fix it and why life sucks so bad. What's because I'm a victim. There's accountability on this side. There's blame on this side. There's personal responsibility on this side. Complete acknowledgement. On this side, it's I'm a victim and everything was done to me. This one is empowered. This one is growing. This one is weak and a victim. These are not right or wrong. This is where we have a choice. And these eclipse portals this eclipse portal that we're in with the bookends of this solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse that's coming up in 2 weeks. We just had the solar yesterday. This is where we kind of get to choose. In this portal, we're activating a free will to let the mind relax and to let our higher consciousness dive in and marry with the heart so that we can live a more peaceful, easeful life. That's the embodiment of love. It's more peaceful. It's more easeful. And we forget all this stuff until we give ourselves some time, space, and grace to remember. And a quick way to do that is breathing. It just is. It is the freest, most accessible way to connect with presence, with just this right now moment, with your body and your breath, and moreover with the heart. It holds the space for us to see what we need to see and to release what we need to release. But if I'm in an anxious state of mind, trying to control everything, trying to figure everything out and make sense and wrap my mind around it, then my heart doesn't have room to wrap itself around anything at all. And I'm just really uncomfortable. And I've been there a lot in my life, and it's a whole new pattern of being. So, just for the next couple of moments, here, actually, I pulled this card. Ooh, I pulled it when we began. I just now showed, I'm just now looking at it. So it's the lion spirit. It says, be generous of spirit. Look at that beauty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, roar. I love it. Let me share what it says, and then I'm going to guide us on a brief but a breath journey. So my invitation is to be somewhere comfortable where you can just be for a moment. It won't be long, I promise. Okay, so this says, the lion spirit says, I'll hold it up so you can see it. Because it's just pretty, I love the background too. That like orb, it's like an earth. Anyway, it says, a healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Lion's spirit appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of pride and a healthy sense of your worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. You are both the king and the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in ways that educate, heal, inspire, and delight. Be proud yet humble. Practice gratitude, and you will find that the accolades that come to you are no match for the joy of knowing what you have been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. Lion Spirit knows there is a great savanna before you, and many who will benefit from the healthy expression of your unique set of gifts if you choose to work in partnership with Spirit. All your relationships flourish as you express your worth and generosity of spirit with humility and kindness. What a blessing you can be to all. I want to go back to that sentence about lion spirit knows there's a great savanna before you, and many who will benefit from the healthy expression of your unique set of gifts if you choose to work in partnership with Spirit. It's the if you choose to work in partnership with Spirit. That's the free will of the mind to serve the heart. That is what that is. If you choose to work in partnership with love, that's when all the gifts are bestowed upon us. And that's what I was saying. Like, you're sitting here in this snow globe, and it's like, I'm going to just be here with my heart. I'm just going to be here with my breath. I'm just going to trust everything's working out. I'm still going to live my life. I'm still going to take care of myself. I'm still going to like be in action and life and everything. But then the gifts are then bestowed upon me. Now, if I'm fighting the heart and I'm not listening and working with love, with spirit, whatever you call God, goddess, the universe, the oneness, if my mind isn't doing that, then I'm flailing about, and then I'm just a mind trying to make sense of it all. Then I am not practicing wholeness, because wholeness is the body, the mind, and the spirit working together. So I like that card. I've never pulled that card. I had someone in a ceremony recently pull that card, and they were like, oh my God, I love this. And I was like, that's cool. I still haven't read it. So that was actually my first time. I like that. Okay, so let's do this, if you will. We're just going to do a little breath work. So just get comfortable wherever you are. If you can have your spine be nice and long, it just helps the energy move, and it helps the diaphragm to allow more room for the lungs to do their job. So take a big breath in through your mouth and just let it go through your mouth. Pretend like there's a magnet that's pulling the top of your head to the ceiling. And imagine that there's a magnet at the base of your spine holding you with love on this earth. And just imagine the energy of life force itself being your spinal fluid and moving up and down your spine with ease. Easy peasy. So you're just going to breathe, and you're just going to focus on that. An invitation, if you can, is to close your eyes. Don't do this if you're driving. So breathe in through your nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale through your mouth. Hold it at the bottom. Breathe in through the nose. Hold at the top. Breathe out through the mouth. Breathe out fully. Hold it at the bottom. Breathe in through the nose. Suspend it at the top. Breathe out through your mouth. All the way suspended at the bottom. Breathe in big and full with your nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale through the mouth. Suspend it at the bottom. Keep going. Breathe in big and full through the nose. Suspend at the top. Breathe out through the mouth. Suspend at the bottom. In through the nose. Suspend at the top. Out through the mouth. All the way out. Hold at the bottom. In through the nose. Suspend at the top. Out through the mouth. Hold at the bottom. In through the nose. Filling up. Suspend at the top. Open the mind. Breathe out through the mouth. Couple more. Hold at the bottom. Breathe in through the nose. Suspend at the top. Breathe out through your mouth. Suspend at the bottom. One more. Breathe in through the nose. Suspend at the top. Breathe out through your mouth all the way. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out of the mouth. Keeping the eyes closed, breathe normally and regularly. Just sit in this space with your eyes closed. Breath natural. Energy moving up and down your spine. Letting the heart of compassion open up. Acknowledging with gratitude all you've ever done, all that you have not done, all the gifts that you are, and that you have, and that you share. Letting gratitude fill you for this generous heart, this generous life, this generous experience, all of the stories, all of the healing. Gratitude for this path that you have chosen, and gratitude for the path that you continue to choose. Gratitude for this body, no matter what shape it is in, having gratitude that this body has carried you this far so far. Gratitude for your family of origin, for they created you, whether you enjoy their company or not. Gratitude for this earth for holding you, always. And gratitude for this next big breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beginning to come back to your body, into this present moment, and begin to open your eyes, come back to here and now. Doing that practice every day is amazing. If you set a timer for 5 minutes and you do that, and then when the timer goes off, you just sit in your meditation or you sit in your prayer, and that's it. So that's my high encouragement over the next couple weeks, especially. And we can do this breath anytime. We can connect with this part of ourselves that is calm and centered and generous in any given moment. But we forget because our mind is trying to make sense of it all, and it can't. It literally cannot do that. Our mind cannot make sense of it all. So we can just let it go. Just let that pattern go. We don't need to do that anymore. We don't have to mess with that. So I hope that you are feeling better, whatever that looks like to you. I hope that better is how you feel. And if you feel a little better, I will hold the vision that you continue feeling better and better as this day goes on and as the days go on. And know that you're loved so much because you are you, and you're here and you're breathing. And that means you have a purpose, and it's to be you, to be here, and to breathe. That's really it. So you're doing a great job. Hey, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, all right, y'all. Keep breathing. Enjoy this eclipse time. I'll be back at PRN next week on Tuesday with Body, Mind, Spirit at 11:30 and Thursday at 10 for expansions. We'll be back in the hub. So I look forward to seeing all your faces in real life and all of you beautiful souls that do join me here on the digital platform. I really appreciate your presence and your input and just your energy. I'm very grateful. So thanks. All right. Enjoy this day. I love you so much. Bye, y'all. Peace.